What's up, everybody? Viper here, back again in this survival. Today I'm gonna go over how I fortify my base. I pretty much almost always start out at the White House for a few reasons. It has storage on the inside. You got cabinets. You got rooms upstairs. It has cabinets. It's spacious. You can put a lot of different stuff. It's got this little garage next door. And one of the most important things that I think at the beginning is it has this water tower. And if you have problems sleeping, if you get up in a water tower, you can pretty much get almost a whole night's sleep. Because the infected usually didn't bother me as bad in the actual water tower. Usually, like if I'm up there sleeping in a bedroom, then I'll get woken up a lot until I get these actually walls built, and then I don't have a problem sleeping. I can sleep most of the night. But as soon as I get to the White House, the I'll usually just use a box to hide myself in a room. Like I'll put this box on the ledge, and the infected can't get up to you. And then you could sleep up here just fine. But after I get get enough stuff, I'll end up putting these chicken fences in the windows up in the house, and then the small fences. And you just rotate them around so you can get them to fit inside the actual window. And then once you have those, you don't need to repair it. Like they'll break down the wood that's on the window, but they won't be able to get through. If they try to jump through, they'll end up dying. But you got 4 windows on this house. There's a second one, and then a third and fourth one. Once you secure those with chicken fences, you can take your crate, and you can put it behind the door if you have NPCs, because the NPCs will open your door and let the people in. So, but I usually don't even bother with NPCs until I have this fence built. I'll put in a fence right here with a door. Now after I get this fence done, I'll be able to keep the NPCs inside the building, and they won't open the door. So now with these 4 chicken fences and this fence out here, the infected cannot get inside the building. But they can break stuff down by these windows. So if you put lockers or anything close to these windows, they will break them, and then you'll lose everything that's inside them. It won't scatter on the ground, it's gone. So don't put anything around those windows until you fortify, either with walls, or what I'll do early on is I'll get these water barrels and I'll put them against the window, and then they won't be hitting the windows. So you just line them up and put them on against the window, and then I'm safe with putting stuff by the windows. But I still only like to put these repair benches and sawmill and stuff by the windows. I don't put storage by windows at all, just in case I don't want to lose what's in there. If you like to build stuff at right angles and being parallel with the buildings, when you first open it up at the White House, it's already orientated, so you can snap these fence posts into each other, And you'd make a straight line. Now on the other side, I'll use a box. And I'll get the box lined up with the White House. You could use a table, anything that's square. And then I'll try to get it lined up as best I can. And it'll be roughly a right angle. That's how I did this fence out here. So I could farm my infected. I just did the corners with the boxes and then alright, here we got the different types of walls. This is wall A with no ladder. Then the second one is wall B with no ladder. I like wall A just because it's got these crenellations, what do you want to call them? So if the bandits ever do attack or whatever, I can shoot down from them from either side. I don't know if the bandits will ever attack. I've never had it happen. I've heard people talk about it. It does happen. But not since the new updates. I haven't had a bandit attack. But A is like this, and then B is just straight. Well, for the most part, straight. And then the latter one also has a little stairs. And then you got your gate. You gotta be careful with your gate. Don't want to do like I did. It's not a big enough gap for anybody to walk through it, but it looks annoying. But when you lay down your gate, make sure you actually put it inside the wall that's next to it, or you'll end up having a gate or a gap. So it would be, I usually save before I do walls, but I don't think I did last time when I actually made that one, so I wasn't going to redo the whole wall. If you're building walls with and you want the walls to have right angles on them, a right angle turn, you just need to find something that it lines up with, like the house or whatever you're building around. So I'm going to put this on the other one, on the wall. So you want to try to line it up as even as you can. I mean, it's not going to be, it's hard to be perfect with it. But the only reason I don't build these type of walls is you end up with this X on it unless you make the ladder walls, but then you have this unusable ladders inside it. Alright, so that's built. It's a nice little right angled wall. But here when you go up top of it, you got this X in it that you got to jump over. Kind of annoying for me, so I don't like using these. Let me build the one with the ladder on it, so you can see that one. Alright, like before, I'm gonna go line it up with something that I know is straight. Close enough. And then you're going to do the same thing as you did on the other side. Alright, so that's built. Now, I mean, it's not as bad as these, the back posts, but I still don't like using that. I'd rather do an angle on my my walls. Just angle them, like when I go up to this wall, they just angle. I mean, they're not exactly straight, but at least I can run all the way around my wall without having to jump and do a bunch of parkour. But to do these angled walls, all I do is I line up the back fence post and the front one, this one right here, and this part here, and I'll angle it. And then I just do a slow turn until it gets straight where I need it to go. Alright, now that's built, and I'll show you the angle. I think it just looks a little bit better if this part wouldn't be here. But it just slowly angles around. Depends on how precise you want it. You can make it pretty much like this one where it looks like it's almost connecting. But that's how I like to do mine, just 'cause I don't want to have to jump over a bunch of stuff. Alright, next we're going to go over the towers and the wooden floors. I like to have my towers right where my ladders are, so I can just go straight up in them if I really want to. But your placement of this wooden floor is going to depend on how your tower is orientated. Now over here, if I built it right here, my tower would be sideways. I wouldn't even be able to get up the ladder. I'd have to build another wall ladder into it, or some floors, some more floors that meet up to it. It'll be sideways, but you can tell which way your tower is going to face by these. You got two big pillars and two small pillars. If you want it to be like my towers, where you walk right up into the ladder, you need to have the small pillars facing away from you, and then you just line it up. Try to center it as best you can, and you can build it from up here. And this one doesn't have a stairs, but you could still walk up in it from any of the places. You could put stairs on it if you want, but I don't bother. I just usually have it by the ladders anyway, because it's already got a pre-built staircase. But when you want to build the tower, it'll automatically snap in place. And you cannot turn this thing, or at least I don't know how to turn it. If your orientation is wrong, you'll have to rip up your floor. So just be careful when you're putting down that floor, that the small pillars are away from you, if you want it to go out of the wall. Unless you really don't have like another wall right here, and you can go this way and then turn and go up the tower But if you want them like this, you have to be real careful about the way you place your floor. But you can stack walls. You can make them higher. You can do all kinds of things with the walls. You just gotta experiment with it, I guess. I'm content with my little walls the way they are. One thing you got to be careful about when you're building your walls is that if you have them too big, the infected can spawn inside your base. So you could be on one side of your walls, and infected could spawn inside your walls. Luckily, I'm usually working around the house or the garage, so I'm normally safe, and I have not seen any infected spawn inside this base. But I've had a larger wall, and I've had infected spawn inside, so you got to be careful with how big you're building your walls. Also, if you're out in front, like say I was out farming infected in my little fenced off area there, and for some reason I came back into the base, like maybe at night or whatever. I was tired of farming and came back in. There could be infected just throughout here. So you got to be careful about the spawn in area. It's supposedly 50 meters from your location in a radius around you. Like when I wake up in the morning, there's usually dead bodies just all around my base, the base walls. That's pretty much it for the walls and fortifications. If you notice, I kept on jumping over these barrels. I put these here so the NPCs won't open my gates. I was real happy to have my first gates, and then all of a sudden Scott just walks the fuck out. And was like, what's the point of having gates if you can't keep them from closing them? So if I ever need to bring in vehicles or anything, I just move these barrels out of the way, and then pull in. But normally I just leave my truck out the side. But I'm pretty safe in here. I don't have to worry about infected bothering me. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.